Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode we will be talking about my favorite e-juice, aka smoke juice, so stay tuned. Man, that is some outstanding e-juice, or smoke juice as Johnson Creek calls it. They have to name everything different for some reason. Like they just came out with some new tanks for their Via cigarette, but they don't call it a tank. They call it a canteen, which I have some on order. So maybe something for a future video. So anyway, I decided to do e-juice, and I decided to do my favorite e-juice. And as y'all know, it's Johnson Creek. I've bought various flavors, Vanda, a couple of different of the tobacco flavors, the JC Original, the chocolate mint, ones with different fruits, and I have yet to find one that I don't like. But again, flavor is so subjective that I'm not going to try to sell you on taste, because what tastes good to me may not taste as good to you. But everything tastes good to me so far. Now, one of the things that I can show you here on a video that can influence a purchase is the way they package their juice. There's some very important things that I'd like to show you. So let's take a close look. I usually save the unboxings for off camera and don't waste your time, but I want you to see how they come out of their package. Now I have a 15 milliliter and I have a 30 milliliter. The 15s run, $9.95, about $10, and the 30 milliliters about $20. But you don't just get the bottle. Like when you buy from another manufacturer, which I don't want to badmouth anybody, because a lot of these are really good. You get the bottle with the dropper in it, and it has a plastic seal on it, and you don't get really anything else. And don't get me wrong, these are some really good e-juices, and I do like some other brands, but I want to show you why Johnson Creek really goes the extra mile for your buck. So let's go ahead and get this open. Now, one thing with the taste, while I'm getting everything out of here, is that there's some e-juices I've come across that have almost like a chemical taste, and they try to cover it up with the flavor, or it doesn't quite taste right, and just things are off and wrong, and that's really not the case with the Johnson Creek. So look what you're getting. Like, here's a Vanda, which is like a vanilla custard taste, which is really up there with one of my most all-time favorite. And I don't use any nicotine. You can see it says 0 clearly right there on the front. They put a lot number on there, so if there are issues, they could do recalls properly. This is the red line, or the red oak line, which are the PG free smoke juices. They also have ones with PG, and I put my arm in front of the camera and I apologize, such as this, and you can see it doesn't say red oak on it. Now on the back, you can see it clearly says 30 milliliter, and they clearly list all the ingredients. I like that. And these are all, there's nothing weird or anything with the ingredients. It's either PG or VG, which is propylene glycerol, or the vegetable glycerin in the case of the red oak. And I didn't put my glasses on here, but you also have deionized water, natural flavorings, artificial flavorings, and USP grade nicotine, except in the 0 nicotine, which is what I got here. And there's also some citric acid as a preservative. That's it. That's all that's in here. They're very clear on it. They've had this tested by independent testers. Good stuff. Now this is glass, brown bottle, so you don't have the light that'll break it down prematurely. Again, you have warnings put clearly on there. You got the size clearly on there. So I like how they mark their bottles. I like how it comes with a plastic cover with a seal, and this is a child-proof cover. And what I was getting at by showing you this one is this came with a child-proof seal, child-proof thing with a plastic thing. But a kid, this showed up like this. A kid would just naturally chew right through this rubber dropper. on the top. This doesn't come with the dropper. It has its own cap, which I think is even better. They took the extra mile. But you have the dropper here, and the dropper itself is also the child-proof type cap. So you could leave that dropper in there if you don't care about that you don't have kids. And you also get this little travel thing with each order. You get this little travel bottle. So instead of having to carry the big giant bottle around everywhere, you could put a little bit into here like this, and then you put the little piece on, and of course I dropped the cover. And then you could take the the cover and close it up, the cap, and it's also child-proof. So the packaging has gone the extra mile. I have not been, you know, I've ordered from various brands, and nobody comes close to doing all this. This is someone who's been in the business for a very long time, they are the biggest e-juice company, and on top of that, they're the ones that do the flavors for the blue cigarettes. So for those of you who are just starting, or you just like the Cig-a-lights, if you're sort of liking the blue and the flavors that come with blue, well, they come from Johnson Creek. Now you can see this is not the red line, so this has some PG in it. You can clearly see in the ingredients here that it has PG and VG and deionized water, natural and artificial colors, and nicotine if it has nicotine. Now I haven't tried the peach yet. My wife wanted to try the peach, so we got some peach. And again, the same deal, even with the small bottle. You get a smaller dropper that'll fit there, both child-proof caps and the little travel thing to bring. I mean, it's just it. I love it. I love it. Now, here's another brand. A lot of them, like when you buy e-juice, they usually come like this. They just come in a bottle, which is very similar to the travel bottle they give you, and that's it. And they're usually clear, which means that direct sun and the light will probably break down the juice a little bit quicker than if you put them in the glass dark bottles. And, you know, they're okay. I mean, these are good, but this is better. Now, there are other reasons why I like Johnson Creek over the others also. And for one thing is that they do make all their e-juices in a lab. Everybody's suited up. They have air doors that they go through. This way, contaminants don't get into the lab. They take extraordinary precautions. They do have videos of that lab on their website in the, I think, the media section or whatever. You have to dig a little bit, but you can find them. Other things is the website. When you go and you try to pick what you want, you pick your flavor, and then you pick your amount of nicotine, and then even really cool, what I like is how they have these dials on the bottom, and it lets you see, let's say, how much vapor production or how much of a tobacco taste or how much of a throat hit each e-juice how much e-juice really is. I didn't take too much because I didn't want to sit here and choke on air, because I notice if I like take a really big hit and I try to talk, I start choking. Not the smartest thing. I never said I was like a smart person, but I love this stuff. So if I had to rate Johnson Creek, man, and I noticed that sometimes I keep on calling him Johnsonville. I must have like brats or pork in my head, but Johnson Creek, they are my absolute favorite, and they get a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. If you haven't tried Johnson Creek smoked juice, otherwise what we normally call e-juice in the vapor world, you do need to give them a try. I would highly recommend that you give them a shot. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really, really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you. And I hope you have a great evening and a great weekend. Take care. Bye.